Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play a Golden Week. Last time we got George Merrick's attention by making some good sales, and therefore he gave us some tasks to complete to see if we are truly fit for the job. So first we need to get this guy to sell his land, so George Merrick can continue with his project of Coral Gables. This guy's not budging, so let's see if we can't get something on him by going into the records office. What up, homie?
Excuse me.
What can I do for you?
Jeez, you have large ears.
Could I look something up?
Of course. What do you need?
There's a house at 1251 Anastasia Avenue that I need some information on.
Of course. Let me go have a look. Yes, here we are. Belongs to one Ernest Mathers. Built it himself 6 months ago.
Might I have a copy of the document?
What's your business with it?
I'm working with Mr. George Merrick of the Coral Gables project, and it's of utmost importance to his acquisition of the land.
All right. You can take this copy.
Thank you for your help.
Anytime.
Must have been hard to have copies of these kinds of things back in the day because you would have to type it out by hand. Well, anyway, let's take a look and see what we can find. Take a look through the record for the 1251 Anastasia house and see that it was constructed 6 months ago by Ernest Mathers. According to this, he had a cursory inspection performed. Looking further, you see that there were no permits pulled for any of the construction work done. Mathers may have tried to appease Merrick, but it seems he did so in a very half-assed fashion. Oh, did not mean to say that. Anyway, here are the fake plans that we're going to be using later. So now let's go confront him with that information that we have. So back to Anastasia Avenue, which we have to walk all the way there, jeez. Maybe we took a taxi or something.
You again? What do you want?
Well...
Mr. Mathers, I've just been to the Hall of Records downtown, and I pulled up a copy of your house record.
Yes? And?
It seems you had a property inspection done when you completed the house, but it was very basic. Furthermore, you didn't pull any construction permits.
I didn't need to. I haven't done any exterior work.
Nevertheless, I'm afraid I'll need to perform an inspection of your home just as a matter of record.
On what authority?
Look, you can either let me come in and do a brief home inspection, or I can report you to the county, and you can deal with whatever fine or punishment they see fit to dispense.
Fine. Come in. I don't know what you expect to find, though.
And now we have a little mini-game here. Pretty much it's just sort of a spot or find the thing on the list. So there are all these things we need to find in our inspection, and you just click on it.
This wall shows clear signs of water damage. You probably have a cracked pipe somewhere back there.
Oh, I suppose that would explain it.
So our goal is to find all the things that can get this guy in trouble.
Quite a nasty buildup of mold you have here.
My wife told me she'd clean it up.
And what's this?
What a mess! You clearly have a problem with a water leak.
And I've called the plumber, but he's yet to get back to me.
Yeah.
These baseboards look like they were installed during the Roosevelt administration.
No, they're supposed to look like that. It's the style, makes them seem classic.
And what's this up here?
Uneven rafters are quite the hazard. This whole roof could come tumbling down on you.
Haven't had any problems so far.
Geez, we wouldn't want that now, would we?
Your fireplace seems to be letting go of some of its tiles.
Oh, yes, I've been meaning to fix those.
Your floor tiles are severely cracked here. Do you regularly have elephants as house guests?
No. I mean, my mother-in-law hasn't seen the new house yet. That was a joke.
I'm sure it was.
And you said you didn't do any outside construction, but what is this?
Nice gazebo. I hope you know you need to have a permit to have one of those.
It was a wedding gift from my sister. How was I meant to know?
Ignorance of rules is no excuse, Mr. Mathers. You seem to have several problems in this home. Are you sure you performed a thorough inspection?
Well, yes. Yeah, I'm sure I did.
I see. And who was it that performed this inspection exactly?
Why, it was a man. Yes, a man from the city.
And did you happen to get this man's name?
Well, no, I wasn't aware of...
You didn't really have an inspection performed, did you?
No. I paid someone to say they had done one on the public record. You won't tell anyone, will you?
You're in quite a state here, Mr. Mathers. Not only did you build this house without the proper permits, but you also put fraudulent information on your report. This doesn't look good any way you cut it.
Please, I have money. How much to get you to look the other way?
I'm afraid my silence can't be bought, Mr. Mathers. However, you might be able to get yourself out of this jam if you sell your house and land to Mr. Merrick.
So this is what it's come to. I see how it is. You come in here playing the white knight, but you're no better than any of the rest of them. I did what I had to do to keep my land, but I suppose that was all for naught. Fine. I'll call up Mr. Merrick and tell him he's won. I hope you can live with yourself, you snake.
I'm sure I'll manage. Have a nice afternoon, sir.
Yeah, I'll admit I'm not a big fan of all that because when a guy owns a piece of land, what he builds on it and what goes on in his house should be his own business, and he shouldn't need any permits or inspections or anything. It should be his own responsibility. But oh well. I guess government likes to stick its nose in things, and we took advantage of that. So the land will now be Mr. Merrick's. So next, let's see if we can... let's see if we can get those plans. Midnight Beach. Alright. So I'm not going to read everything out loud. Is there history in this one? No. Secretary seems less interested in her job than she is instead of her fingernails. It doesn't seem like this place is quite as busy as Mr. Merrick's office.
Pardon me, miss.
What can I help you with, sir?
You seem very relaxed.
Do I? Well, I'll have you know I'm anything but. Why, just this afternoon I have an appointment with my pedicurist. Then first thing tomorrow morning it's off to the day spa, and then I have to go to the hair salon.
I get the point, miss. I really sympathize with your plight.
Oh, well, ain't you a sweetheart?
How much does this guy pay you they can do all that stuff?
I have an interview scheduled with Mr. Riley today.
I see. And your name is?
Alfred Banks.
Just a minute.
Were you going to let him know I'm here?
Huh? Oh, right. Hey, Mr. Riley, you got someone here to see you.
I think I could have done that myself.
Go ahead and go through the door there.
Alright.
Thank you.
This place is a lot more lax than Mr. Merrick's, and I guess why they had to resort to stealing those plans. Because they're not doing very much work for themselves.
What can I do for you, young man?
Painting over the door looks remarkably similar to the one in Merrick's office. Maybe all the real estate moguls shop at the same art store. Anyway, let's talk to him. But our real goal is to find those plans.
Hello, Mr. Riley. My name is Alfred Banks, and I'm here for a job interview.
Ah, yes, of course. My secretary informed me you'd be coming in. I'm afraid I'm in a bit of a hurry today, however. I have a very important appointment I must depart for in about 15 minutes.
Then I suppose we should get this over with as soon as possible.
Yes, of course. Well, let's begin. Why don't we start off by you telling me a bit about yourself?
Oh, and by the way, I think after you do that house inspection, you get an achievement, so that's just one you kind of get in the course of the game. But don't worry about how you answer. You can answer however you like. I'm going to be modest. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure. There's another achievement called like the good guy achievement or something where for some responses you can choose to be, well, a good guy. And I'm not sure if this applies to that or not, but oh well. Let's be truthful.
Well, you already know my name. I used to work at Morrison Banks up in New York, but recently moved here because of the land boom. I've got plenty of experience from working at my father's company.
You don't say. What made you get into real estate?
You want to help you.
I feel it's an excellent field to help people.
Oh, you've got a good sense of humor, my boy. You know as well as I do that the only help we give is helping people part with their money.
Isn't that a bit cynical, sir?
And when you've been doing this as long as I have, it's difficult not to get jaded. Now, what do you think you can bring to this company?
It's weird. If you say it's for the money, then he'll criticize you on that. So this guy there is no right answer for this guy. But like I said, you're not looking to get hired. You just need to be in the office so you can look for those records. Sales record, people person, expand the company.
I have business know-how and can help expand your company. My father was a partner at the firm I used to work at, and I learned quite a bit from him.
Well, Banks, I must say, you seem to be a very promising candidate. I'll have my secretary contact you in a few days. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must run. I have to meet my daughter for dinner, and I don't want to be late. A word of advice, Banks. As great as this business will make you feel, you are nobody if you haven't got someone who loves you. My daughter, for instance, means the world to me. I always want her to be around, which is why I've got these paintings of her in my office. But I digress. Let me show you back out.
Okay, that's interesting, I guess. And there's some interesting socks.
Good day to you, Banks. Caroline, hold my calls.
Do you have your pants tucked into your socks or what? What is going on there? Anyway, we need to actually get back in there.
Pardon me, miss.
What can I help you with, sir?
This will be very tricky. We're going to have to do some convincing here.
I'm afraid I need to get back into Mr. Riley's office.
Oh? Why is that?
I left something behind in there during my interview.
No, I see. Go ahead and get it. I never lock the door when Mr. Riley is out anyway.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh.
I appreciate the help.
Okay. So yeah, it's that easy. But we still need to find the thing. Let's see, there's a cabinet here. Fancy glass cabinet in which he seems to keep some odd knickknacks and tchotchkes. Anything in there? Well, he's talking about how special his daughter is. Let's take a look at these paintings. The wall is a painting of a young woman in flapper attire. She seems to be the same woman in the other painting. There's something interesting about this painting if we interact with it. Aha! The oldest trick in the book. Hide your safe behind a painting. We've got some Laura Bow action going on here, but there's a combination here and we do not have it. So let's take a look at this other painting. The painting shows Riley's daughter in a low-cut beige dress. She's clearly trying to pull off a flapper look, but in your opinion, she needs a bit of work. Let's see. The painting is signed by A. Sokolov. You've never heard of that artist before. The date is May 27th, 1913. I wonder... Let's try it. May 5th. May 17th. Wait, did I get that right? Hold on, let me check it again. Oh, 27th. Why did I think 17th? So, May 27th. And there you go. You clicked, that must have been the right combination. So you open it up, you find Merrick's plans and quickly replace them with your fake ones. And if you want an achievement, close this right back up. You put the painting back as it was, because you can't just leave it open. There aren't any consequences from that, as far as I'm aware, but you do get an achievement if you close it right back up. And that's 2 of the 3 things we need. One more, we need to get that reporter to give special coverage to George Merrick. To the Miami Herald we go.
Quite an operation they've got going on in here.
Hello, sir. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
And we have another real historical character here. Who is she? Let's check that out. A lot of bloopers in this part.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas makes reference to some fool draining the Everglades. She's referring to Napoleon Bonaparte Broward, who was the governor of Florida from 1903 to 1909. One of the major things that he did during his time as governor was draining the Everglades in order to make way for land to farm on. A lot of people were opposed to the draining of the Everglades, but not for the reasons you might think. At the time, they were considered useless swampland, so people weren't really concerned about the environment as much as they were the taxes that they had to pay in order to take this project on. In the end, Broward drained the Everglades and brought down several people to look at the project, including Teddy Roosevelt. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas would have been opposed to this because she went on to become a very vocal crusader for the conservation and protection of the Everglades. She wrote a very famous book called The River of Grass. Broward ended up having a county named after him.
Alright, so Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, a famous reporter from Miami.
May I have a moment?
You may.
Anything you can tell me about Miami?
When I first got here, this was no more than a glorified railroad terminal. There were less than 5,000 people and the streets were made of white dust. Now we've got hundreds, if not thousands, of new faces showing up every day and are constantly expanding. I bet it won't be long before some other fool tries draining the Everglades to make more room.
Yeah, that's what the guy was talking about.
I'm Alfred Banks, and I believe you have the advantage.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas.
Pleasure. What is it you do around here, Miss Douglas?
I write articles, conduct interviews, and investigate stories. I'm what's commonly referred to in this business as a reporter.
I suppose that was a bit of a silly question on my part.
Well, at least you can admit to it. That puts you ahead of most.
Have you reported anything on George Merrick's Coral Gables project?
Don't know that I'd have to. He spent a small fortune on advertising. I doubt there's a single person in town who hasn't heard of it by now.
That may not exactly be the case. Mr. Merrick asked me to come here and inquire about possibly getting someone to do a bit of publicity for him.
Ah, suddenly it all becomes clear. Let's get something straight right now. I'm not some dumb Dora at anyone's beck and call. If Merrick wants a reporter in his pocket, it'll have to be someone else. I'm far too busy to find myself on the leash of some land developer and his cronies.
Whoa. Okay.
Now, let's not be so hasty. I'm sure Mr. Merrick isn't looking for a lapdog, just someone who can provide some help. Maybe we can reach some sort of agreement.
Now that you mention it, maybe we can. Okay, I'll help you out if you do me a favor first.
Name it.
There's a story I've been following, but I've hit a bit of a roadblock. Are you familiar with Jeremiah Miller?
Afraid not. Who is he?
He's a local politician, county commissioner in fact, very outspoken on the subject of prohibition. I have reason to believe, however, that he's full of hot air. Unfortunately, I've never been able to get close enough to him to see if my hunch is right.
So, where do I come in?
Miller enjoys spending his time at the Miami Men's Club on Brickell Avenue. I figure if he's going to indulge in any illicit pastimes, that would be his ideal spot. As I am of the fairer sex and therefore not allowed inside, I need someone I can trust to get in there and see if I'm right.
And you trust me?
Not particularly, but you're my best hope, and you need my help. So I figured you've got the best chance of actually getting this done.
So, if I catch Miller in the act, what then?
Bring me some sort of proof of his hypocrisy, be it a photograph or a signed confession. I'm not fussy.
I'll see what I can do.
And lastly,
Do you enjoy your work here?
I do, although to be completely frank, it's gotten a bit tedious. Granted, what I'm doing now is much better than what I did when I started, that being the society column. Back then, things were so slow I made up half my stories.
It certainly seems like there's a lot going on in town these days.
I won't argue with you on that point, but we'll see what the future brings. Maybe I'll take a crack at going out on my own. We've managed to get the vote. I see no reason why a woman can't make a name for herself as a freelance writer.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
but yeah, that's why she's so famous, is because, you know, at the time when women's rights weren't really at the forefront of people's lists, she was able to become an independent reporter, and a respected one too, so that's cool. It's a frayed newspaper on the wall. It seems to be about the day the Great War ended. That's, of course, World War I. World War contains several memos and notes for all the Herald employees. Anyway, that's all for here. So she needs us to get into a men's club, and it will now pop up on our map. Got some more paintings here. This painting depicts a man in a safari outfit standing triumphantly on a dead tiger. You feel a bit sorry for the poor creature. Aw, poor kitty. This man in the painting is smoking a cigar and looks particularly arrogant. Hopefully this doesn't represent the typical members of this club. If you try to look at this painting, he'll walk over here and this guy will yell at you for trying to get in without being a member. See, the cabinet contains several trophies honoring achievements ranging from hunting to archery to golf. And there's a door here. Play one door leads into another room. You see nothing to indicate what might be on the other side. And if you try to click on it, it'll be locked, but there's no point in the game where you ever go through this door. So I don't know if this was intended to be another room in the game and they just took it out, or if this is just aesthetic or what. Let's see, is there any history here? Nope. So we're in the men's club, but can we become a member and get in and get that evidence that Miss Stoneman Douglas needs? You're just gonna have to find out next time on Let's Play A Golden Wake. Thank you for watching and have a good day.